shooting in North Raleigh. One man is in the hospital with life-threatening injuries, and police are still searching for a suspect. The breaking news tracker is live with what officials are telling us from the scene.
A passing front means roller coaster temperatures. Who could see lows in the 30s tonight and when we'll warm back up again?
And a new tool in schools to help keep your kids safe. The county giving SROs breaching shotguns in the case of an emergency. Why one local sheriff believes more school systems should follow suit. All right, so let's get right to breaking news in Raleigh tonight. A man shot on East Millbrook Road. That's near Capitol Boulevard. Sky 5 is over the area tonight. A lot of police responding to that scene. Thanks for being with us. I'm Ashley Rowe.
And I'm Dan Haggerty. Police telling us that the man is now at the hospital, has serious injuries. WRAL's Willie Danley is in the breaking news tracker, joins us now at the scene where we can see the flashing lights still behind you. Parts of that road shut down as well.
Yes, Dan, Raleigh police have had the eastbound lanes here on East Millbrook closed for hours, right between Capitol Boulevard and Green Road, where they're investigating this shooting that sent one man to the hospital with what they're calling life-threatening injuries. This is an extremely large scene, and it's really inconveniencing a lot of people who are coming through this way for the evening commute. What we know from Raleigh police is that a man was shot right near a bus stop here on East Millbrook. His injuries are life-threatening. I spoke to some people who saw that man after this shooting, and they said his body appeared to be lifeless in the street. And immediately when first responders got there, they started performing CPR on him before taking him away in an ambulance. Right now, there are no suspects in connection to this shooting. And as you can see, Raleigh police are not going to be leaving this scene anytime soon. They just had the forensic team come here to investigate. We're going to continue to stay on top of this story and keep you up to date with what we know. Willie Danley, WRAL News, Raleigh.
All right, Willie, this is Brian Schrader in the WRAL Live Center. And of course, that Millbrook Road intersection at Capitol is a major intersection on the north side of Raleigh, and it's going to be closed for a while, that eastbound side of Millbrook Road between Green and Capitol. So for the rest of the evening, as they continue that investigation, you might consider using Spring Forest Road as a better option. Also, just in the past few minutes, we're getting word of a pretty serious crash in Raleigh on Atlantic Avenue near Six Forks Road. Sensors indicating some very heavy delays there. We have a crew on the way to that scene.
Okay, keep us posted on that one. Thank you, Brian. The USDA will now pay half the normal amount of SNAP benefits this month. The program typically costs around $9 billion a month. The USDA has about $5.5 billion in emergency funds, and a federal judge ordered the administration to use that money as the government shutdown continues. Tonight, Wake County leaders are discussing how they will handle the local impacts of the shutdown. WRAL's Eric Miller joining us there live now. Eric, that discussion got underway not long ago. How's it going in there?
Ashley, it's been going now for more than 40 minutes here. Wake County commissioners, the heads of several local food banks as well, and staff members all looking at what this is going to mean for families here in Wake County. And it is a stark reminder of just how much is on the line. According to Wake County staff, there are 80,000 people here in Wake County alone who depend on SNAP benefits. Now, you take a look at this video here. That includes this mother right here. This is Shanisha Williams. She's a single mom, a mother of three. And she says this funding delay, funding decrease are weighing heavily on her mind. She estimates she has enough food right now to feed her family for the next 2 weeks. But Williams says hard choices are already starting and hard questions are coming from her 3 kids, including how she's going to pay for more food.
I still haven't figured it out. I reached out to multiple resources, churches, social services, and they're just saying right now everything is like at a standstill.
And staff here in Wake County point out that if the government shutdown drags on, we're going to be talking about a whole lot more than just SNAP benefits here, There's also things like WIC benefits, funds to provide heating and electricity assistance for low-income families. All of these programs could be affected if this continues to drag on, not to mention what's going to happen with the money around SNAP. That's still a bit of an unanswered question here this evening, Ashley.
Yeah, and Erica, have SNAP recipients actually started receiving that money yet? They haven't, right?
So, Ashley, Shanisha Williams, she actually shared with me this screenshot right here. This is from her Snap dashboard. You see the warning there about the government shutdown, and you also see the balance right there at the top, $0.00. Now, staff here today with Wake County, they say this is a question that they have been taking to the state, to DHHS, asking, hey, when is this money going to be coming down? They're told right now they don't have an answer, but there will be delays for people here in Wake County who depend on this funding. Ashley?
The stress of food insecurity can just be so all-consuming. Eric, stay on this story. That brings us to our quote of the day. I'm now in a position that I have dreaded for a long time. That's your quote of the day from Daniel Ayers, a small business owner in Pittsburgh. He's talking about the government shutdown. Here at 7 o'clock, we want to focus more than political finger pointing. We want to give you a clearer picture of what the shutdown means for people. Where you decide to place the blame is really up to you. Let's get back to Daniel. Daniel's talking specifically about what the shutdown means for the Affordable Care Act, how premiums are going to go way up if subsidies are not renewed. The Kaiser Family Foundation estimates the average increase will be about 114%. Here's how Daniel reacted when he checked his account.
Just this morning, I looked for the first time, didn't want to do it over the weekend, but I opened up the healthcare.gov portal. I looked at my premiums for 2026, and I knew to brace myself. But just to put it bluntly, I was stunned. The cost has gone up so much that I'm now in a position that I've dreaded for a long time, but hoped I wouldn't have to face it. But now I do have to face it of deciding, will I go without insurance next year?
Wow. And of course, healthcare is just one piece of the puzzle. Small businesses also stand to lose millions in revenue because of the shutdown. Thousands of private businesses have contracts with the federal government. A report from the U.S. Chamber of Commerce found that contractors nationwide have lost at least $12 billion so far. That same report breaks down the numbers state by state. So let's check out North Carolina. More than 1,500 small businesses have federal contracts. Every week that the government is shut down, $36 million in payments are at risk for those businesses. That's nearly $157 million per month. And remember, the federal employees going without a paycheck right now, they're likely to get back pay. But for private contractors, there are no guarantees. All the money they're losing, they may never get it back. And tomorrow, the shutdown reaches day 35, tying it for the longest in history.
Let's get you caught up on some of the other big headlines here tonight. These are the 5 things you should know right now. A Durham man charged in a shooting that injured a 4-year-old is out on bond. This is Patrick Day, appeared in court today. He's accused of leaving a gun accessible to a child. Investigators say the little boy found the gun over the weekend and accidentally shot himself. We are told he is now in critical but stable condition. The state representative accused of statutory sex offense with a child had his bond reduced today. This is Cecil Brockman. He's now being held on a $250,000 bond. That's down from over $1 million bond. Brockman resigned last Friday, weeks after first getting arrested on child sex crimes. The Guilford County Democratic Party is holding a meeting on November 15th to nominate Brockman's replacement. Work begins tonight on a part of the 540, the complete 540 project. This closure here is between Rock Quarry Road and Auburn Nightdale Road and Old Buncombe Road. The closure is in place between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. So that's going to be overnight every day this week. And the goal of the project, when it's all finished, of course, is to extend the Triangle Expressway to complete the 540 loop.
Happening right now, the Durham City Council is meeting and will vote whether to redevelop land in the historic Hayti community. If the plan is approved, it would call for more than 250 affordable rental units. The city has been working on plans to develop the area for years. The project would cost $44 million and be completed in 2 years. And new in the last 30 minutes, Wake County commissioners approved a new lease for 5 County Stadium. WRAL's parent company, Capital Broadcasting, is leasing and managing the stadium in Zebulon. The plan is to bring in a summer league baseball team and to let Wake Tech use the stadium as well. Zebulon Town Council will also vote on the lease tonight.
Very good. Nash County, they are adding something to the tool belt to keep students safe in schools. Shotguns, specifically what they call breaching shotguns. Officers use them to open locked doors. Typically, SWAT teams use these, but Nash County sheriffs think that SROs in schools should have them too. We're going to talk about why after the break. Kat?
And we've got a lot of days this week with highs in the 70s, but temperatures really come crashing down after that. I'll have a timeline for our first potential freeze coming up.
All right, Kat, and let's look ahead at some of the news stories that we are watching this week. Election Day is tomorrow. Whether it's council members or infrastructure projects, just about every city and town in North Carolina has something on the ballot. You can find a full list of what's up for a vote in your area over at WRAL.com. On Wednesday, President Trump's tariffs will go before the U.S. Supreme Court. The justices will hear arguments about whether the president has the power to order these tariffs. A final decision likely won't come until middle of next year. Fenton opens up its ice skating rink on Friday. It'll be there until February 8th. We're back in about 2 minutes.
A tool once reserved for SWAT teams is now coming to a school near you, more specifically to the school resource officers in eastern North Carolina. You see, every SRO in Nash County will have access to a breaching shotgun. It can break through the locks of a locked door so officers can get to students fast in an emergency. WRL's Heidi Kirk shows us how they work and why the sheriff thinks more districts should have them.
These tools are all about lowering response time safely when it comes to getting inside a locked door in an emergency response, rather than sending one of these through that lock to unlock the door. Now, SROs in Nash County will be using this, a powder, to penetrate that lock. Inside Nash County Public Schools, all SROs will have access to one of these, a breaching shotgun.
We've got to do what we can to ensure that we are combat ready to take care of the community and ensure the safety of our kids. And this is just another tool in our toolbox.
Sergeant Kevin Bissett helped roll them out, saying it will shave time off an emergency response by giving SROs a tool normally reserved for SWAT team members.
You're looking at minutes to hours before a SWAT team member may arrive at a location, especially if they gather the entire group. We don't have that time. So that's why it's imperative for all SROs to be issued this equipment and be properly trained on it.
We couldn't find another district in our area using these. Sheriff Stone says nationally, it's become a bigger conversation after shootings like Uvalde.
Some of the places that have had these bad incidents, the doors have been locked and chained and things of that nature, and EMS and law enforcement cannot get into the schools immediately. And remember, time is of essence.
These tools fall into phase one of a multi-year plan that they have here in Nash County of equipping SROs with more tools like these ballistic shields and those breaching shotguns. More to come in the future. Heidi Kirk, WRAL News, Nash County.
Heidi, thank you. Now, look, it is worth noting that Nash County has been very open to investing in these new tools with the goal to keep students safe there. Heidi mentioned the breaching shotguns as well as the ballistic shield she was holding there at the end. Nash County schools also have those weapons detection systems. These are the ones we have seen popped up at schools all over the area and country, for that matter. Nash County also updated its crisis alert system to keep staff and parents updated in any type of emergency. Now, when it comes to those breaching shotguns, there are other schools and other states who are trying similar things to prioritize urgency. You see, this summer, Texas passed some laws requiring schools to have breaching tools on campus. And last month, the school district in Alabama equipped its SROs with breaching tools. Not shotguns here, but sledgehammers and pry bars and bolt cutters. The nonprofit who funded this said, quote, "Every second counts." In 2022, the University of Central Florida equipped its officers with these breaching kits. The department said, quote, "Seconds count." Also in 2022, you might remember when Madison County, North Carolina, put AR-15s in all of their schools. The guns are stored in secure safes that only those officers, those SROs there, can access. Everyone, of course, is going to have a different opinion on that specific idea, but it is worth noting that the sheriff also put breaching tools in those schools, too. The sheriff saying, quote, "I want to make sure my deputies are prepared." All of this was a direct response to the school shooting in Uvalde, Texas, when 19 children and 2 teachers were killed at Robb Elementary School. This is the same reason the sheriff put breaching shotguns in Nash County schools, because of what happened there. You see, a Nash County deputy visited Uvalde after that mass shooting there. Law enforcement from all over the country actually went there to talk about ways to improve safety in their communities.
I actually spent a week in Uvalde, Texas, speaking with those individuals, firsthand getting information of what they experienced and what they put in place after the events. After speaking with them, speaking with folks in Florida and again throughout the country, breaching shotguns and ballistic shields were 2 of the immediate ideas that we came up with.
So a major factor in that Uvalde case was the speed of the law enforcement response. The DOJ review found that police officers there acted, quote, with no urgency. The gunman wasn't killed until 77 minutes after police arrived there at the scene. And in the days after the shooting, it was reported that law enforcement were delayed in part because they were looking for keys to unlock classroom doors. But a review a few months after that, a few months later, found that those doors were already unlocked. So finding the keys was not necessary. Now, you might say, Dan, if the doors were already open, why didn't law enforcement just go inside? And what's the point of these breaching tools or a breaching shotgun if those doors were unlocked? Well, if you ask the law enforcement officers, it's about eliminating those questions altogether. What I mean is, if officers have a tool to get inside a school classroom, the question of whether the door is locked or unlocked doesn't really matter. They can get in either way. It's about removing the barriers, mental ones and physical ones, because in an emergency, time is of the essence. And as those officers and different organizations were saying, every second does count. Do you have a thought on this topic? Is there something you think we may have missed or didn't consider here? Anything you want us to cover when it comes to school safety and some of these new techniques and weapons in some cases that are being introduced into our schools? Send us an email, dan@WRAL.com. Tell me what is on your mind, and we will go in depth.
And a lot of people have thoughts on that. Hey, Kat, this week in the calendar year, I always find it's a little bit of an adjustment for me driving home. It's darker than what it was just the week before. But we're going to have a nice week for fall.
Exactly. And, that's going to carry you through this week. Hopefully, we've got a lot of sunshine. We've got a lot of days with highs in the 70s. So just make sure that you are dressing in layers this week. We've got 30s some mornings and 70s some afternoons coming up here. So cool mornings again tonight. We're going to be seeing temperatures dip into the upper 30s by daybreak for Roxborough, South Hill, and some of our more rural spots. 42 in Raleigh, 41 for Durham, as well as Fayetteville, 39 Rocky Mount, and 40 in Southern Pines. The next 3 mornings will be cool, if not chilly. Chilly tomorrow, Wednesday morning, 40 degrees the low. I can't entirely rule out some isolated frost for the next 2 days, but I don't think that's going to be a very widespread risk out there. But the afternoons are great, mostly sunny, 68 tomorrow, 73 on Wednesday, and 67 on Thursday. All around really nice. And, upper 60s is still normal for this time of year. We start the month with a normal high of 68 and a normal low of 44. The normal high by the end of the month, 58, with a normal low of 37. So let's take a look at our next weather maker. This is our next chance for rain, and we have a couple of fronts that are going to come over the weekend. 2 chances for rain, it looks like. One Friday night into very early Saturday morning with this front here. Another could follow behind and perhaps bring some rain late Sunday. But it's behind these fronts that we have the biggest cool down that we've had so far this season, and we could even see a freeze. North Hills looking dark out there tonight. 53 degrees, but the wind is dying down after it was breezy a bit earlier today. That'll allow temperatures to fall a bit faster tonight. Tomorrow morning, if you want to get some leaf blowing done, it's going to be the better of the 2 days to do it if you're comparing tomorrow to Wednesday. Wednesday, the wind's going to pick up again. So just keep that in mind for this week. 61 by 11 a.m. already, 66 by 1 o'clock, and we'll be in the upper 60s still at 3 o'clock tomorrow evening. Temperatures are ranging from 66 in Roxborough to about 70 in Fayetteville tomorrow. And on Wednesday, 73 in Raleigh, as well as Fayetteville, 72 in Southern Pines, and 71 in Rocky Mount. Over the next 7 days, check out all of our 70-degree days that we have in store. If you liked Wednesday's 73 degrees, well, you're probably going to love the weekend forecast. 70 on Friday. That will come with a chance for rain Friday night. Right now, we've got it at about 40%. Saturday, just a chance early in the morning. 76 and mostly sunny for the afternoon. Sunday is when the stronger push of cold air could arrive. And check this out, a 20-degree drop in high temperatures between Sunday and Monday. And we are forecasting 30 degrees below freezing in Raleigh by next Tuesday morning. That means Roxborough, Siler City, some of those kinds of places could be in the upper 20s next week.
What a jump. Okay, thank you. Hey, this time next year, the Carolina Tar Heels will be known as the Talon de Goudron.
Nice.
That's French for Tar Heels. UNC is sending another team overseas in 2026. Your one last thing after the break. Oh, one last thing. UNC's athletic department seems maybe a bit jealous of the university's study abroad programs because another Tar Heel team is set to travel overseas next year.
Yes, the women's basketball team will start its 2026 season in France next year. They will take on Oklahoma on November 12th, 2026 in Paris. The matchup is being called We Play.
I like that. We play.
Me too.
We play. Yeah. Yeah. Remember earlier this year, the athletic department announced the football would start its 2026 season in Ireland. Tar Heels will play TCU in Dublin on August 29th, 2026.
I do like this push from our collegiate sports to our professional sports to kind of branch out, take things outside of the United States, show the rest of the world what we're doing.
Yes, exactly. Grow more fans.
Yeah.
Thanks for making WRAL your choice for local news. Next newscast is at 10 on Fox 50 and 11 on WRAL.
Watching WRAL News over the air channel 34 and Spectrum channel 1250.